Hey, Father.
Hey, Randy. Good to be here. Yeah, there's a lot going on
Yeah.
here. But this is a little series kicking off. This is the first full day of no public masses, and I think pretty much throughout the state of Kansas and out throughout the U.S. too. So this is an experience of kind of like the Israelite people exile. No opportunity. The temple has been shut, and so how do we navigate and negotiate these times? One thing we know is that God does not abandon His people. The Lord is near. That was the first reading today at Mass, and so we need to look in a different way, right? The familiarity that we had, the ease which we had to encounter the Lord in the Eucharist and the church. That's not our experience, and it may not be our experience, we may not have that opportunity for who knows how many weeks or even months. So, what we're going to be doing is putting together a little blurb each day, a little fervorino called Exodus 2020, Faith in Crisis. So, Exodus 2020, where does that come from? Well, 2020, that's the year we're in, right? But also Exodus 2020. First of all, Exodus, the book of Exodus, is the time when the Israelite people were being delivered by God from Egypt, from slavery, on their way to the promised land. And in Exodus, they are in the desert, right? And it's a difficult time. The desert is a very difficult time, very challenging time. Yet it's also the time of some of the greatest intimacy that the people of God would have with their God. Hosea refers to this time as the honeymoon period. So the people and God, the encounter that can happen when one is kind of, in a certain sense, in exile. And this exodus is happening, and when we think about the exodus, that means that we're being led out by God. He's leading us. And I think it's a way to have a perspective of hope in the midst of kind of what we're going through here. So no longer than 5-minute reflection, 3 to 5 minute reflection each day in regards to faith in Exodus 2020, faith in crisis. Exodus 2020 literally says that. Of course, I don't have it up. Moses answered the people, "Do not be afraid, for God has only to test you and put the fear upon you so you do not sin." I just want to be, what's a highlight there is do not be afraid, right? And God, and testing in the Old Testament is not like a master coming on. We'll see what they're worth. Testing is a way that we go deeper and become more authentic and pure as far as our heart goes and our relationship with God. And so we all know that during times of testing, struggling, that we look upon our past, we look upon those. We don't want to repeat those, but a lot of times we're glad we went through those things. I don't know if that's going to be the case here, but that is definitely one way that we can take a look at what we're going through. And then I'm going to call this Exodus 2020, Faith in Crisis. So a little just play on the words faith in crisis. Our faith might be in crisis at the moment. I mean, I'm hearing definitely from people like there's almost a despairing tone in regards to what's going on, and but also maybe looking at it as faith in crisis. How do I live faith in the midst of a crisis? Because we are certainly in one. I mean, like people I talk to is like, we've never seen anything like this before. Last week, this wasn't even on the horizon. So anyway, these are going to be little reflections each day. I look forward to being with you, and we're in this together. Exodus 2020, Faith in Crisis.
Love it.